2500 dually. I've owned this truck for almost 2 years. August is going to be 2 years. And been daily driving it since I bought it. So this truck as a daily driver, I always say that this truck is a pretty good daily driver. The AC works really good. It's always worked good since I got it. When I bought the truck, it had 227,000 miles on it. Right now it's at 254,791. It's been a good truck. It's honestly been one of the cheapest diesels that I've ever owned as far as maintenance and caring for and repairs. I think the only things I've ever done to this truck were the lift pump, which if you watch my other video, you can see how I did that lift pump for less than $200, and I've got 25 PSI fuel pressure. The lift pump was one, and the APPS sensor is another, which is a super common problem on these trucks. It's a 24 valve engine, and they are electronically controlled. So the throttle position sensor is called the APPS sensor, and if you don't buy the expensive one or the factory one, it can cause you a lot of problems, which right now I've changed mine out with an AutoZone brand, and I've got problems again. So I'll be replacing that fairly soon. But those two things really have been the only things that I've needed to buy for this truck as far as repair goes or maintenance. Of course, I've done oil change and fuel filter, but besides that, I mean, it's been a great truck. Batteries. Truck came with a set of batteries. It lasted up until about 2 months ago, maybe 1 month ago, and I got another set of batteries in it now. No ball joints, no wheel bearings. I did do brake pads. Since the day I bought it, it's been jump in and go. It's been no problem. So it's been a really good daily driver for me. It's pulled everything that I've hooked it to. 4-wheel drive, manual on the floor, manual transmission. I will say though, my 5th gear nut has fallen off on my transmission, so I only have 1 through 4 in reverse. So that's pretty annoying. As you can probably hear, I'm in 4th now, and it's pretty loud. But I still get along just fine with it. I mean, we drive on the interstate, and it's, you know, you can only go about 60 miles an hour, but you do what you got to do. But yeah, I do plan on fixing that soon too. Another reason why I would recommend this truck, or a second gen in general, for a daily driver is just the sheer comfort of these trucks. It's a 98.5, which basically from 94 to 01 or 02 is basically the same exact truck. But if you go and you look at a 94 Ford or a 94 Chevy, I mean, you're compared to a 94 Dodge, I mean, you're really stepping down in that comfort and that quality. Dodge was kind of the first ones to go with that whole kind of new style, new feel, that more rounded kind of thing. I mean, this truck, I think, was pretty ahead of its time as far as the interior goes. The seats are comfy, they're nice and squishy. These are leather. I've owned plenty of OBS trucks, and they really just, the seats are comfortable, but they ride like a baby buggy. I mean, they're leaf spring all around, and they just, I mean, there's nothing else to it. This truck, coil spring up front, solid axle front end. You know, with the coil springs, even with the leveling kit, it still rides pretty good. I would say it's very comfortable. So that also makes it a pretty good daily driver. We've taken this truck on long trips, towing, non-towing. I mean, we used to drive this truck. This was our primary vehicle for a long time because Steph had a Jeep that neither of us wanted to drive. So this was our primary vehicle, and we drove it everywhere, and we absolutely loved it. So daily driving this truck, I do have one gripe. The exhaust is a little loud. It's a 4-inch straight pipe. It can be a little drony on the highway, especially not having 5th gear. You have to drive in 4th, so it does get pretty loud. I'm in 4th gear right now and going about 45, 50, and I'll just kind of lay into it a little bit, and I'm sure you'll be able to hear it. It sounds cool, but it can get old for sure. So I've been looking into getting a muffler to throw on here because I do like the way that sounds too, and it should be a little quieter. So, but as far as daily driving, that's kind of like my gripe goes, is just the exhaust is too loud. But that's something that I did. I would say another positive of daily driving a second-gen Dodge Cummins, they look great. I mean, I know I can't speak for everybody, but I mean, there's just nothing looks like a second-gen. They're just good-looking trucks, in my opinion. I mean, they just look stout, they look tough. I think maybe Chuck Norris put that image in my head as a young kid, so maybe that's why I like them so much. But I mean, you're getting a reliable, easy to work on diesel engine that'll last forever if you take care of it. I mean, so that's worth its weight in gold right there. You know, transmission, everyone's got transmission problems eventually. You know, transmissions can be fixed. That's kind of here nor there between all the brands. To buy one of these trucks for a daily driver, I would probably say it's fair to say that you're going to pay anywhere from $6,000 to maybe $12,000, $13,000 for a real clean, good truck. I mean, I know some people want more money than that, so I mean, you can pay whatever you want to pay. But if you get a manual, you're getting a pretty good transmission. If you can get a 6-speed, get a 6-speed, because they don't have any of the problems that these 5-speeds have, and they're a whole lot stronger than these NV 4500s. So if you can get a 6-speed, try to get a 6-speed. I think they only came in 2001 and 2002. Another reason why I would say you're getting your money's worth is if you were to buy this, let's say you were going to buy one of these trucks for $8,000 and you were to daily drive it for a year, you know, you put maybe 10,000, 12,000 miles on it, you tow a few things, you know, and you take care of the truck and you don't damage it in any way from when you bought it. I mean, you basically could turn around and resell that truck for the same price you paid for it, maybe more to the right buyer. So I mean, it's really not a losing situation when you think about it like that. They're not depreciating in value. If anything, they're kind of going up in value because these trucks are getting harder and harder to find, especially clean ones that, you know, haven't been molested. Like this truck in particular has never had a tuner, never had a programmer on it. I bought it off the original owner, and I mean, he took really good care of it. So I mean, trucks like this, you know, dually 5-speed Cummins with leather, I mean, this is a, you know, can be a pricey truck because it's taken care of. I know that I wouldn't let this truck go for way more than I paid for it. So I mean, and I know it would sell for that too. So that's something to think about too when you're just trying to decide what would be a good daily driver. Second-gen Cummins for a daily driver. This is a 3500 and it can be stiff at times, but I mean, for what it is, it rides pretty damn good. I mean, I've been daily driving it for almost 2 years and I really don't have any complaints about the ride. I mean, it's expected, it's a dually. It's meant to haul. I'd recommend this to anybody who is wanting one and even thinking about it. I mean, it's just a good truck, reliable, cheap to maintain, cheap to fix. Your biggest problem with this truck is going to be your throttle position sensor, like I was talking about earlier, and it's going to be your BP44 injection pump, which on a 12 valve they've got a P pump, which is all mechanical. This motor is electronically controlled, so it has a electronic BP44 injection pump. Now, their biggest downfall is either they overheat, or the computer on top gets fried, or there's not enough fuel pressure, and that it needs the fuel pressure so it can lubricate the pump. That's how that works. The diesel fuel lubricates the pump and keeps everything moving how it's supposed to. It's really not if it's going to fail, it's when it's going to fail. It's just a weak spot, which I know that they make nice pumps. Luckily, I haven't had any issues with this pump. This pump was new before I bought it, so I haven't had any issues with it, and we've been almost 2 years now. So knock on wood that we're going to get maybe 2 more out of it, or maybe more than that. But I've also put that lift pump on. I think it's helped a lot, keeping it supplied with fuel pressure. So anyways, guys, in conclusion, would I recommend daily driving a Ram 3500 with a Cummins diesel? Absolutely. 100% absolutely. The key points I would say are it rides good, it's cheap to maintain, cheap to own, it looks good. You can basically pull anything you ever wanted to pull. It's reliable. Would make a great first truck if you wanted to get into diesel trucks but didn't want to have the scare of, you know, diesel's expensive, it's expensive to fix type of thing, because these are pretty cheap to fix and you can do all the work yourself, especially with YouTube nowadays. All you have to do is be able to watch a video and follow along. I mean, I would absolutely recommend this truck or any truck like this for a daily driver, because it's just, in my opinion, you just can't beat it. It's real steel, it's an old truck, back when things were actually made to last. So you're actually able to fix it, you're able to repair it yourself because it was designed to last. Imagine that. Damn good truck, that's for sure.